Warning, the following content might make you shock.
Epic drop.
Slapnuts.
Welcome to the third edition of Slapnuts in the Spotlight.
Top 5.
At the top of the list this week are two state attorney generals with ties to billionaire George Soros leading the pack. Now, these two individuals, New York City's Attorney General Letitia James and Georgia Attorney General Faniwillis, both indirectly funded by the Soros Foundation, have campaigned on a platform to target former President Donald Trump. Now, this has fueled the extreme behavior known as Trump derangement syndrome. And most of you hear it all the time. If CNN is not talking about it, NBC, you name it, everybody's talking about it, even people on The View. However, let's focus on these two slapnuts.
Slapnuts.
At number 1, Attorney General Letitia James, with the assistance of New York City's biased judge Arthur Engoron, issued a ruling against former President Donald Trump for what is described as fraud. But court documents indicate there was no victim in this crime. Engoron concluded that Trump had been misrepresenting his wealth for years while establishing the real estate empire and ascending to fame and the White House.
Today, justice has been served. Today, we prove that no one is above the law.
This self-righteous Attorney General, James, is taking victory laps because of the judgment against him. She contends no one is above the law except, of course, for Judge Engoron and herself. Now, this is the same Letitia James that stated the government is too male, too stale, and too pale.
And so we've got to stand up to the federal government. We've got to stand up to bullies. We've got to stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale.
Which could be interpreted as a form of prejudice. In a strong statement, Attorney General Letitia James declared, if he does not have the funds to satisfy the judgment, we will resort to court-ordered enforcement mechanism and request that the judge seize his assets. This is a clear attempt by the Democratic Party to financially ruin the former president and hinder his 2024 presidential bid. This situation is reminiscent of the political tactics commonly seen in third world countries. Now, Letitia James undoubtedly has an issue with the former president. The fact that she campaigned from the very beginning that she was after him, one can only conclude that there is some sort of prejudice, even if you take the man to court. So Letitia James, you're slapnuts.
Slapnuts.
The number 2 on this list is Faniwillis, the district attorney of Fulton County, who holds a prominent position on this list, obviously. You might recall her commitment to take down President Trump, despite some media outlets like Politico disputing this claim. But her actions tell a different story. On her first day as Fulton County's chief prosecutor, it was revealed that President Trump, according to her, is alleged of trying to influence Georgia's top election officials to overturn his defeat in the state during the 2020 presidential elections. Soon after, Faniwillis commenced her term as Fulton County's district attorney, heading an office conducting a criminal investigation into Mr. Trump. In a recent turn of events, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, Republican of Ohio, has initiated an investigation into Fulton County District Attorney faniwillis. She is alleged to have received over $14.6 million in grant funds from President Joe Biden's Justice Department between 2020 and 2023. The timing of these funds raises suspicions that the DOJ provided Willis with federal funds to prosecute former President Donald Trump. Now, Jordan sent a letter to Nathan Wade, a Willis associate, requesting documents and information about the coordination of Willis's office with politically motivated probes and alleged misuse of federal funds. Now, if you all have been paying attention, it is very clear that faniwillis and Nathan Wade have been involved in an alleged relationship. Wade's law firm used funds paid by the county to take Willis on luxury vacations by using potentially fraudulent payments. Wade was appointed without the required approval by authorities and had little to no prosecutorial experience. Wade met twice with President Joe Biden's White House counsel before indicting Trump in August, raising questions about whether the White House coordinated prosecuting Biden's 2024 political opponent. Faniwillis, her involvement with the private sector and collusion with the Department of Justice and the Biden administration in trying to bring down Joe Biden's political adversary is disgraceful. So, folks, we all know that the Democratic Party, the George Soros-backed attorney generals, have been going after Trump. I mean, they're trying to ruin the guy financially and, of course, politically. But faniwillis, you're a fraud, and you're a
Slapnuts.
Coming in at number 3 this week is Nikki Haley, the Republican Party spoiler who is trying to disrupt former President Donald Trump's nomination, despite his commanding lead over her. During her time as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations under Trump's administration, Haley's personal finances were far from ideal. Her parents owed over $1 million, and their Lexington, South Carolina home was at risk of being lost. Well, Haley surprised Washington by resigning from her position in the Trump administration in 2018, just under 2 years after taking office. A spokesperson for Haley claimed that her family's financial troubles had no bearing whatsoever on Ambassador Haley's decision to leave her position. Haley might have been considering potential business opportunities, a businesswoman in the private sector, which is, according to her, not a step down, but a step up. Indeed, Haley's net worth has since skyrocketed from less than $1 million to an estimated $8 million. How did she achieve such rapid wealth accumulation? Haley has become a rhino, a Republican in name only. And her targeting and her continuing to run as a presidential candidate, even though she has been losing drastically. I mean, take a look at what happened in Las Vegas. She lost to none of the above. And then in her home state, Trump, in a landslide, got 100% of the endorsement of South Carolinians. So Haley, I like you, and I've always liked Haley. When she was the ambassador, I thought she had a lot of credibility. However, if she has fallen into that swamp in which money buys favors, Haley, you're a slapnuts. Unfortunately, my dear.
Slapnuts.
At number 4, we have New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who is looking to the Biden administration to provide more funding to deal with the influx of undocumented immigrants into the city. This mass migration has led to a surge in crime by Venezuelan gangs. Taxpayers are footing the bill for thousands of dollars in payouts to these individuals, and a policy from New York City Attorney General Alvin brags that encourages the release of undocumented immigrants who have been caught attacking law enforcement officers without consequence. We've witnessed an increase in violence, including assaults and shootings directed at law enforcement, who are working to maintain the safety of New York City. The city is grappling with ongoing immigration issues. Residents are being forced to accept the situation because both Mayor Eric Adams and Governor Kathy Hochul seem either in denial or completely ignoring the concerns of their constituents. The people of New York trusted these officials to fulfill their oath to protect and serve the city, but it seems like they've been falling short. There are rules in place that basically allow illegal immigrants to run roughshod and commit crimes and endanger the lives of residents. And the only two slapnuts that we can really point the finger at that have been the source of doing nothing about it are Mayor Eric Adams and Governor Kathy Hochul. Those two are the number 4 spot and are the slapnuts of this week.
Slapnuts.
Now we get to number 5 on the list. And some of you will probably disagree that this individual should be at number 1. But there's a reason why he's at number 5. Who is the number 5 slapnuts of the week? Yours truly, President Joe Biden.
Come on, man.
And of course, why not?
Slapnuts.
It turns out that the man had willfully kept secret documents. And not only that, wrote books using that information that he's collected since he's been in the Senate. And we're talking about when he was 29, right? And he's now 81. Well, let's take a look at his record up to date. As soon as he got into office, what did he do? He closed down the XL Keystone Pipeline. What else did he do? He reversed executive order by former President Donald J. Trump. So you can imagine we're now at over 10 million illegal immigrants that have entered the country. And this invasion has resulted in a crime wave that we're seeing in a lot of blue states. The DOJ is not going to prosecute him. It's obvious because they're protecting him, because there is a 2-tiered justice system or injustice system. Now, what else can I say about Joe Biden? Well, supposedly, Joe Biden has a business with his family. Can somebody tell me what that business is? Do they sell real estate? What exactly is it that the Biden family sells? I'll tell you what it is. It's called influence. And the Biden administration, along with feeble Joe Biden, are the reason why crime is at the height that it is. Okay, why the border is open. And of course, you're going to hear Alejandro Mayorga say,
Border is secure.
and we spoke about that slapnuts. But Joe Biden is the number 5, okay? He's been involved in influence peddling. He is actually in the pocket of China. And look at this.
Slapnuts.
He is so hard up to send money to Ukraine, but he doesn't want to send anything to the border. And
Slapnuts.
he has criticized Congress and the Senate of not giving him the authority to use to help with the crisis at the border. Through executive order, he can close the border. He doesn't need additional powers because apparently when Schumer had worked on this bill that I've gotten into heated disputes with people online about it, that bill would have allowed for 5,000 illegal immigrants to enter the country on a daily basis. What kind of a president would allow for something like that? Joe Biden, you're a slapnut.
Slapnuts.